Hi, my name is Madison Smith, and today I will be teaching a brief lesson on MLA and APA formatting. These two are the most common citation styles used in academic writing, and knowing how to use these helps writers avoid plagiarism and organize their information in the clearest way possible. And by the end of this lesson, you'll be able to explain the difference between MLA and APA and create a basic citation in each style. So this lesson aligns with the Utah ELA standard W.12.8, which requires students to use information from reliable sources and follow a standard format for citation. Today, I will be showing how to follow the two major formats, which are MLA and APA. And this type of lesson would normally be used for an 11th to 12th grade English class, simply because these citation formats are best for when they are writing papers or doing presentations and stuff. Alrighty, and to have a brief introduction into what MLA and APA formatting are, MLA formatting is used in both English and humanities forms of study. And it uses in-text citation, so pulling a quote directly from the text that you are using. And this text can be a book, it can be a website, it can be just like any form of reliable source that you use a quote from that isn't paraphrasing or using it in your own words. So this would be like an author and a page number. And usually you have your works cited page. So this can be like a couple spaces down or a separate paragraph from your main source or like main form of writing. So you have a couple of paragraphs and then at the end you would be like, these are the works that I used. And an example, I have it written down here. I don't have a whiteboard sadly, but, a example of MLA formatting, we'll use The Art of Writing from John Smith, and this is featured in Penguin Books, and this came out in 2020. So I'm just gonna underline this real quick. So here we have last name before first name. Always, always, always you want to use the last name before first name. So you'll do Smith, comma, John, and then you'll do a period because that's showing the end of the name. And then The Art of Writing, so this is the website or the novel or the paper, whatever they wrote and whatever you're pulling your information from. And then you'll obviously do a period to show that, hey, this is the title and this is what the title is and stuff. And then where the article, novel, where it's from. So Penguin Books at the end, and then the year it was published. So in between all of these, you're going to want to put periods, or after the Penguin Books, you're going to do comma 2020 or comma 2019, comma the year that it was written. And I have this right here underlined because when you would be typing, you would want to put the article, book, whatever, in bold to show like, hey, this is what I'm pulling my information from. And also when you would be typing to show that this isn't just a bonus from your paragraph or from your main chunk of writing, you would put this in italics to show that, hey, this is a source, this is a resource that I've used in my writing. And then going on into APA formatting, it's kind of similar but a little bit different. So you would put Smith apostrophe J. You do not need to put the full first name. Then you would do period, or I guess you would put a period to show the first initial of the first name. And then 2020 in parentheses. You want to put this in parentheses because this is just a rule of APA formatting. And then you'll do The Art of Writing, period, Penguin Books. And with this one, you don't really need to put any bold markings in it, but you do need to put it in italics. Same with, or I guess the only part that you would need to put in italics for APA is the resource or the website that you have gotten it from. So pretty similar to MLA, but the key differences is that MLA focuses on page numbers and APA focuses on the year. Alrighty, and this would be the interactive component, and normally this is where students would form into small groups or work on their own, but since I'm demonstrating alone, I'll walk through what the activity would look like. So the sample source that I will be using is the title Healthy Living for Teens, and the author is Maria Gomez. The publisher is Sunrise Press, and the year that this was published was in 2021. So here's how students would format this in MLA. So obviously we're going to have last name first, always last name first, comma, Maria, her first name. Then we're going to do a period to differentiate and move on to the next part of this citation. Healthy living for teens. This would be in bolded, but since I'm writing with a pen, I can't really do that. And then you'll do a period right here. Sunrise Press, comma, and then a period after the year. And then moving on to APA, it would be Gomez, comma, M, just the initial for the first name. Then you'll do, obviously, a period, just to, it's just what you do for a, just when you're using the initial for the first name. I couldn't think of the word. And then you'll do parentheses, and then the year. And then you'll do a period, and then obviously you'll do the title, Healthy Living for Teens. And then this one would want to be italics. So that would be that slanted little I that you see whenever you're typing stuff out on like a Google Doc or on a Google slide presentation or even on a Word doc. And then, so then after your, after the title, you would do a period and then Sunrise Press and then another period at the end. Alrighty, and in a classroom, I would normally walk around and help groups format their citations because knowing from experience, I have definitely struggled with differentiating between these two, so I would definitely resonate and help out students as best as I possibly could. But for this demonstration, I am modeling the correct responses. And to conclude, MLA is used in English classes and cites with the author and a page number, while APA is used in sciences and cites using an author and a year. Both helps writers give credit to their sources. Excuse me, words are so hard today. Both help writers give credit to their sources and avoid plagiarism, which we have seen a huge rise in recently, especially with the rise in AI. And this teaching demonstration is so important because it shows students that, hey, you don't have to be 100% relying on AI. Like, you have a brain, like, you're so smart, like, let's use that smartness and get you the grade that you deserve on, and let's teach you what is so easy. And yeah, so this is the end of my demonstration. Please feel free to give any feedback, and thank you so much.